Bow your heads. Lord, we ask that you hold our hands and guide our hearts and our minds as we lead through our discussions to better the city of Frost this evening. We pray that you are with our citizens in the next few months and ensuring that they are abundant with what they need. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Citizens' comments. I have two.
I like one.
Oh, no,
Oh, you already got that.
yeah,
one.
no, I have one. No, I have two. Sorry,
Bill and
stuck
Dottie.
together. Okay,
Yeah. and Dottie.
well, let's go, Dottie.
Okay.
Dottie
So
Barnes.
we're all dressed up because we're supposed to be at the murder mystery thing that starts, now,
Okay.
at the Kirk Center for the Salvation Army. But
Oh,
thank you for putting my resolution about renaming streets or naming streets, that if you do name or rename streets, that they be reflecting the values and history and natural heritage of the United States of America, and that we honor the principles of the United States Constitution and our citizens, and that we use local identity and shared values, so that the criteria is we use like plants and animals and basic things that belong in America, and we do not use things that honor or reference people who are engaged in violence against people with traditional, long-standing Western civilization values. Thank you for considering this resolution under number 9.
thank you. And our next comment is for Bill Barnes.
I'm Bill Barnes. I'm at 519 North Garrity.
You want me to pass it?
No, I'll do it after. I was too late to get this on the agenda, but I'm hoping that you will consider it sometime. I live right behind the new truck stop, and at the beginning of construction in the first quarter of the calendar year, the construction company brought in large quantities of fill dirt. I'm sure you saw the big piles out there. Our building inspector told the construction company they had to build a retaining wall at the back of the property to prevent erosion. They built the wall but left the two ends of the wall open. During the ensuing spring and unusual summer rains, massive amounts of the fill dirt was liquefied and ran into our pond. I'm sure you've seen the big pond behind there. Also, a large amount of fill dirt covered the grassy area between the pond and 667. The pond serves as water containment for the runoff from the east side of Frost, as well as habitat for great blue heron, white and cattle egret, migrating ducks and other fowl, frogs, fish, rabbits, etc. This pond is also a source of water for my orchard and greenhouse. The eastern section of the pond is known to me to have gone from a depth of 3 feet at full stage to about 1 foot due to the silting. The channel from the culvert under 667 to the pond is filled in, and with the fall and winter rains will be recut and dump more fill into the pond. The owner of the truck stop has been cited by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality for failure to obtain the proper permits. Our building inspector has required them to obtain several engineering requirements for the drainage to the east. A small curb has been added to the west side opening, which will undoubtedly be insufficient during a heavy rain to prevent further erosion into our pond. Repeated promises by the owner to correct the situation have resulted in no relief. As such, I am now engaged in legal action to force the restoration of my property to its pre-construction conditions, to include dredging the pond and removal of the piles of dirt on my property. I would respectfully ask that the City Council refuse to issue a certificate of occupancy until the owner acts in a satisfactory manner to fulfill his responsibility, i.e. returning my property to its pre-construction condition. And I have here handouts of what I just read I had to read because I wanted to get all the points in, and also a letter from the lawyer. So,
Did they use a silk fence when they were under
It
construction?
does have, yeah, they did do that. But the rains were huge.
I hate to run, but we're late for dinner, so.
Thank y'all
you
so much.
for
Oh,
your
I have a
attention.
short thing I want to say. If you haven't already voted early, remember tomorrow is when you vote at the school.
Oh, tomorrow's early voting.
Yes, and I
Tomorrow's
encourage,
regular voting, right? Yeah.
yeah, that's regular voting. I encourage everybody to vote yes on all 17 amendments. It'll help you financially, all of them.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, before we move on, I would like to take a moment to point out that once citizen comments are over, other than people at this table, we really don't need any extra commentary while we're trying to conduct business.
Absolutely. Thank you
Yes.
for the reminder. Okay, moving on into item number 4, discuss and approve consent items. That would be our minutes, financials, and any utility reports. On page 2 of the minutes. What is it? Okay, we can correct that.
Is that me minutes or?
Yeah.
Minutes?
Yeah.
minutes, your fingers were just moving too fast. What was that date?
It was the 10-6.
Sorry, she just copied.
Yeah, it's correct at the top, yeah, so we'll just make those are minor, we'll get those corrected.
What were some of these big expenses, like?
Not the backhoe, $11,900.
And the equipment rental?
Yeah, so, great questions.
Gotta approve the minutes first.
No, because we it's still part about the financials.
Discuss
Yeah,
and
yeah,
approve.
it's like the whole thing.
Yeah, it's scary numbers,
Do what?
scary numbers.
Scary numbers, they're actually not, let me explain why. That was the first thing I said to him, I was like, oh yes, then I remember. Equipment rental and maintenance, there were multiple needs for rental equipment in the month of October, for water leaks, for, some mowing, and just a variety of things, right? So it was more than usual, yes. And the backhoe expense, that actually, Julie and I were discussing this, we're gonna place this in a separate line item. So that was for the mini excavator that was approved in the budget.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what that was.
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought we were like renting a backhoe for something.
No, no,
Or
no,
I
no,
thought-
no.
No, I actually
We
thought
have
that
a-
was
we have a
repairs
backhoe
on
that-
backhoe.
So yes, there were multiple
I thought that's what
repairs.
that was.
Okay, so the top line, the 62840, that one, the $18,000 line, that includes multiple repairs to our backhoe. Okay, and that also included,
The 62840, okay. so
62840,
that was-
yep. Yep, so that's multiple rentals plus multiple, repairs to the backhoe.
What is outside contract services?
Outside
7,500.
contract services,
Right above that 18,000.
Probably some of the maintenance, cause
mhm.
we have to have some
Yeah,
Water
so,
outside help.
exactly, so there are some repairs that we don't make as a city, we have those contracted out, so that's what that is, there were some large, couple of, repairs that we had to call someone for.
And the mower and weed eaters, $884, is that like,
That is repair to the mower. The majority of it, it includes gas, it includes parts, like getting new blades, that type of thing, but that was also repairs. Had to have a couple different repairs done.
So is the backhoe back up functional?
Backhoe is back up and running, yep,
mower back up and running?
yep, everything's back up and running.
You don't need the mower anymore.
Yeah, now that we don't need it anymore. Well,
I mean, really,
But yeah.
we just the mower a little bit, like, it will be something that we'll have to look at in next year's budget, is a commercial mower versus
yeah,
the residential mower that we have.
Did you get my,
I did,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I tried to fit in the budget, I just couldn't find a place for it.
a lot more than I thought it was.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we called multiple places, they're all around 10 to 12.
And the only thing about his is we get the 20% discount
Yeah.
in the city, but
Yeah, so we'll put that in for next year. We had to kind of weigh
Yeah.
is it the mower or the mini excavator, what makes the most sense, it was the mini.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we used it today on a water leak, so. Yeah, those are definitely typically out of our typical range. Absolutely. Whoops.
Has the solar farm, wind turbine people contacted you about purchasing water?
Yes, yes.
Because Blooming Grove's fixing to shut them off. If you didn't know it, they're actually transferring, they're buying there's two different size trucks at a time, buying it from Blooming Grove, hauling it all the way out to 639. I'm thinking, what happened to us on that? But they're fixing to work on their water towers, so they're going to shut them off, so.
Yeah, they called looking for a rate.
For what they need, are we able to use our well water for that?
I don't know, they haven't, we need to find out exactly what they need.
Because if you're just putting it on the ground, I don't know why the well water wouldn't work
Need to find out what their needs are.
if we have a way to
Yeah,
pump it that way.
they called and asked for a rate, that was about where we landed. Any other questions?
Good. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes, financials and utility report, consent items.
I second it.
Johnny motions, Amber seconds. Any further discussion?
Just reading Timmy's notes over here. Just steadily writing.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. On to item number 5, mayor's report. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet this month. A couple of things. We have extended the contract for the wastewater treatment plant, the sewer plant, for end date. We extended it out 60 days because the generator was not available. So we are waiting on the generator. The assumption is it'll be here within the next 30 days. That's what they believe, but we went ahead and extended it 60 just to make it easy. However, this time it still hasn't come in. So there's that. The second is we are back to our process of disconnecting water for non-payment. Last week, we disconnected 19 accounts. 10 of those have reconnected, and then we have about 10 more to disconnect this week. So, just in case anyone asks you about it, that's what's happening.
Great.
That's really about all I have as far as mayor's report goes.
I accept the mayor's report as read. I approve it.
Check, moving on. Item number 6, discuss and consider approving Winter Festival for December 6, 2025. Megan, would you like to share?
I don't have a lot to share.
Oh,
It's the date set and it's from 2 to 6. It's gonna be simple, just vendors and food
where?
at the park,
At the park, okay.
and weather permitting.
Yeah.
If we have to, we can move it into the school, I'm sure.
Sure.
We'll have to do
You don't want to charge July for the winter festival?
it. I'd be good with it.
I approve the winter festival on December the 6th.
You make a motion.
Oh, I
to-
make a motion to
Okay.
approve it.
I'll say it.
Okay.
Who seconded it?
It was
Kimmy.
Kimmy.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion?
No.
Julie, we need to make a note for the Parks Reserve that day, the full day.
Oh, okay.
Let's not do any further reservations for that day.
Okay.
That way they've got time to set up. Okay, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, discuss a request for an RV park in the city of Frost. And this is where I will have to ask, here we go, I was like, this is all I've got. So I'm gonna defer to you, if you could share, please.
With the construction and the wind towers and all that stuff, someone asked me about, you know, where people are gonna stay, and so they asked me about, you know, I'm Mick Simon, we have the old Williams Gym, so we have space, sewer, water, don't really have electricity, but I just thought, well, I'll ask the council, see, you know, if anybody is opposed, get some feedback, see if this is a good idea, bad idea. So I'm not proposing anything, I just came more to see what would the feedback be. Would that be if somebody said, well, you know, you're not supposed to have an RV and live in it. I'm like, okay, so, you know, I'm not gonna fight about it. If that's where the stance is, fine. If this is something that would, you know, generate something for the city, whatever. I just wanted to kind of get some feedback. I'm not saying I'm gonna do it. I'm just said, you know, I'll ask.
Just the top of my head, right? Just off the top of my head, when I think about opening this type of a business, we don't currently have ordinances for an RV park. We do for a mobile home park, but not for an RV park, so that would be different. I'd be curious what the impact on water would be. Navarro Mills, our water resources, has been limiting a bit, so that might be a challenge. And so with that, then I think the procedural changes, you know, there'll have to be some zoning requests and Yep. So yeah, we'd have to check with Encore to make sure that they could pull electricity and so forth over there as well.
How many slots are you referring to, maybe?
Maybe maximum 10.
Oh, okay.
We're not talking
That's not so
huge.
bad.
It's just this, you know, it's a couple acres, and so I did a little research on how many you could put in there. And 10 would be all of it that I would, you know, I wouldn't want to tear anything down to put it in or anything.
Correct.
But I did, you know, almost everything is there, available. I'm not sure I want to do it, but I just thought, you know, say, could I throw in a couple things else that are kind of semi-related? I wanted to see, would it be a possibility to get a street light put on one of the poles there in that alley runs through a property? One of them has a light that doesn't work, and another one doesn't have a light. But so when I talked to Encore, they said, yeah, you gotta go through the city council, and I'm like, it's a light. But anyway, so I gotta go check and see if that was a good idea. So.
Are you talking about it? Should we open an RV park? Is that what you're asking? Or
No,
you're saying in general?
I'm shifting gears here.
Okay. I
Also,
understand.
in that same area right there,
In addition to, yeah.
Replaceable.
in that same area, there is no light. So I just, you know.
Yeah, so should we open a park, that would be
Yes,
different,
let's do
right?
that.
So that's
Yes,
one.
yes.
The second piece is if you could leave the address, you could leave the addresses with the city secretary
Okay.
regarding the other, then we can
Done.
look into that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
is there any feedback on the RV?
Yeah, because it's a discussion.
Okay.
So we can provide feedback on an RV park. Yes, it's an open discussion for us.
Where would you put this at? I mean, back here where the trailers are parked,
No,
and down that
up-
strip, or
Up
further?
there toward the front, we have,
Like in the
There's-
gated
there's-
part.
yes, there's a long building and it opens to Pace. There are culverts and stuff that would open to Pace Street, so that little area right in there was kind of what I was considering. It really is nothing but something that I mowed, so I thought, well, that would be the only place I'd wanna put it if I did it, so
And you're thinking 10?
maximum.
Okay.
I'm not, like I said, right now, I'm just kicking it around, cause you would have to have access first, and you might as well, if you're gonna have access, then it ought to have, enough room that you could build onto it. I'm not sure the expenses, I haven't really gotten any good numbers on, you'd have to have meters, the water, the sewer is there, I'm a contractor, so a lot of that stuff I could put in if it was permissible, but
Now, is this something you're looking to do temporary, or are you wanting to leave it for good?
like I said, I don't have a plan. I just
Okay.
thought I'd just first ask, that was one of the questions too, do you know, temporary for RV, or is it something that would be long range? And, I'm kinda flexible, so that's kinda why I wanted the feedback, so.
Okay.
We'd have to research, see what water and stuff, like what we could.
Yeah, the key would be, right, if this is something that we're, like, again, this is a discussion, so if it's something that we're interested in learning more about, then we'd have to look into what it would take to build the ordinances out, what regulations we need to follow through on, and so forth.
Cause you're right there at the school too.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like,
Pace
I don't-
Street.
who's,
The
Who's
traffic.
there?
yeah, you'd have
Yeah.
to,
Question for you then, speaking of that,
like, register.
the back driveway in, could you use that for that or not?
But don't you?
The one that goes in between the new school parking lot, that comes into the backside where the trailers park, could you use that for that or not? To take pressure off of that front street where the school is, Pace.
I don't know where you're talking about, on the west
Well,
side?
On the Allen side.
is it the Allen? Well,
No.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, yeah, I guess Allen runs right there behind.
It's right there where the fire department is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Allen.
right there
That,
on
the
Allen.
alleyway,
That's
or
Allen.
what do you wanna cut out, is Allen out there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just curious, that way if there was a concern with it being by the school, extra traffic, if we could come in from the back, or whoever renting from you, they could use the backside. I don't know if it's feasible, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, sounds reasonable, but I think you're right, I didn't think about school traffic, but, coming in from Carroll Street, which is on the west side, that would be
I mean, they're gonna be leaving before school takes up. I
Right.
mean, if they're with the
Right.
wind farms, I mean, they have to be
18
there.
months, it's an 18-month project.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, what I'm saying, time wise,
Oh, we're talking about
they would
time
probably
of
have to be
day.
in the
I got
field
you.
by 7 o'clock in the
And
morning
then they
most
won't
of
be
the
coming
time.
in until
Yeah.
5, 6 o'clock in the evening, but
Most of them work 12-hour shifts, give or take, but anyway.
And if we're talking about 10 spots.
Yes, it ain't a lot, but a lot of them probably gonna carpool anyway. I'd be interested in it, yes.
Yeah, it's a possibility that we could go, we use this front street, we use it for our back gate, and we keep the
Yeah.
front ones closed just because of everybody cut through there for years, so, the kids would walk through, and I'm like, I'm not really liking that, so we just keep the gates shut up there at the front, but it, could be used, but
Okay,
I would like to have a proposal that said, this is what I got in mind, but
right.
I'm not there, so.
Well, I think there's also ordinance questions and so forth.
Yes.
It's hard to make a proposal if you don't know what we need.
Right.
So I think the next step is if there's enough interest, then we can follow through on the next steps. It's not, we're not
Yes.
saying, yes, we're putting it in. What we're saying is, yes, we're interested. We need to find out what needs to go next.
Investigate.
Yes.
Check into
Or
it.
no, we're not interested, and I'll stop right here, so that's why I said, I'm not gonna argue with anybody, I'll
Yeah.
go ask, and if this is a good idea, fine, if it's a bad idea, fine, I'm good either way.
Definitely need more information,
Right.
Just
but, could consider it.
Yeah, like I said, we're not voting to install. We are voting or we're not even voting. We're having a discussion to see if there's further
Interest.
interest.
I think,
Yeah.
I think there is.
Because there's definitely some research that we will need to do on our end to ensure that, we've crossed our
More
T's and
capable.
dotted our I's, and we can support something like this should we move forward with it.
Well, only 10 spaces is like managing.
Yeah.
So is there something that you would want me to do or not do?
You before or what?
Let me
I mean,
start
she
with,
said no, I mean,
Yeah, no, I said no.
we
I'm
said-
not comfortable with having tramps And I can say that because my husband travels for work. He's a tramp. I'm not comfortable having, that's what they call them. People who travel for work are called tramps.
No, that's not what I know of.
I'm not comfortable having tramps right there by the school unless they're vetted. I mean, I don't think that it's a good idea to have a bunch of travelers put in there when there's babies there.
Yeah. It sounds like the next step is we need to get we need some additional information. So I'll connect with you in the coming weeks as far as what, unless I misread it. I mean, it sounds like the majority of
There is
folks are
interest, there
interested in
is concerns.
learning more, right?
Yes.
Learning more.
Learn more,
Okay.
yes.
Exactly. We're not saying yes, we're putting it in. So I'll get with you in the coming weeks as far as information that we would need to make the final decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough. Anything else that I need to,
Any other questions?
I need to follow up on? Would you feel better, I agree with your point, would you feel better not putting the driveway on pace if we could get away from that, or would you rather it not be?
You need to run background checks on, make sure they're not.
I'm not gonna do that, tell you the
Okay,
truth,
well.
you know, cause I don't even know what that would amount to, I'm not willing to go jump through that many hoops. If it works, great, thank you, and if it doesn't, great, you know, but I got kids and grandkids too, I understand completely, so, you know, if it's somebody's uncomfortable with it, then I would be too, so.
Fair.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Alright, thank you.
We're just gonna take off, y'all. Everybody hold on.
The air. When the air cuts on, yeah, it makes a lot of noise. Okay. Item number 8, discuss and take possible action on an ordinance exception to maintain city utilities on a travel trailer at 300 East South Front Street. Last month, we had the property owners come in and provide some citizen comments around this. I included, hopefully I included somewhere, okay, here we go. The ordinance, the current ordinance, it looks like this, it's kind of in the middle, I think it's right after that. So it says chapter 3 building regulations. This is our current ordinance. And if you swing down to the second page of the ordinance, it shows that no permit will be issued for permanent residents, nor will city utility services be provided for recreational vehicles and campers. Travel trailers, camper trailers, RVs, whatever we're gonna call them, right? So the question here is, could we grant an ordinance exception for this one piece of property? Should we request a zoning change or a complete change, we will have to notify the neighboring properties and have a hearing. So that, however, the first discussion is this something we are willing to make an exception for? And if we are, then we have to move forward with the hearing. Kind of like when we put a mobile home in down here, we had to change the zoning, remember that? Yeah, so we would do that. However, first step is this something we're willing to do? Alter permission for this one piece of property? Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept. I mean, it looks better than some of these other places,
Yeah, it's better than houses, they maintain the property.
so I second it. I think it'll be okay.
So further let's have some discussion on this as well, so.
And I recall them saying that this is not something anybody's gonna reside in, but that they wanted utilities available to it.
Correct. Yes. I believe so.
Which makes sense, you know, winter's coming up, you wanna be able to have those utilities available to winterize your.
Well, I know with our camper, we're able to hook it to the house, and we use that when we're cleaning and loading and unloading.
Yeah. Look, I fully understand that. I think we also have to be mindful that this will set a precedence for future.
Yes.
if we choose to do this. It's no different than changing the zoning in a neighborhood, that it will set a precedence for what could happen in the future.
Well, I feel like at least they're coming to us, we have some that do it.
Well, as it is, Encore installed an electric pole without permission from the city.
Nope. No. Not Encore. They're local.
Is there any other discussion? So,
Just that, you know, this talks about a permit for, permanent residents in Oroville City, the sea. As it reads, a camper can't get its own separate utilities.
no.
But if this read, that it can have it without being, inhabited.
Like if you change to say a permit will be issued for a temporary. Except, you know, because right now, we can make it to where it's not, people aren't moving like RVs in just to live in, and putting like 5 or 6 on the lot. But if it's just like a temporary thing.
Well, uninhabited RV.
I think that's my concern, exactly what you said, right? That we're moving,
Yes.
and that's my concern about, should this move forward, that we're setting a precedence and allowing that to happen further down the road.
Put a number on there to say you can have, if it's in the future, if we're gonna allow it, you're allowed to have 1, you can't have 10. But if we're gonna say no to this, then that over there shouldn't even be a discussion later on. I mean, to me, this is a long-time resident who pays her taxes and maintains both of her properties. I'm good for approving this.
Look, I'm not saying that this isn't a stand-up citizen. What I'm saying is, if we were all gone tomorrow and there's a whole bunch of new folks that came in, what would that look like? That's the only thing. As far as an RV park, that would be different. That's commercial, right? That's a whole different, 2 different things. This is a residential spot.
What would it take if we wanted to compromise to say something about limited usage, utilities for an uninhabited camper, RV, that kind of thing?
It's an ordinance change. I will say this, something, I think you mentioned something like short-term. When we work with our city inspector, he allows, something else we actually want to put in code, but for now, if somebody's building something on a property, like that's allowable for a certain extent, like 6 months or less, right? So, you know, something like that could fall in. I think that would be, if we were gonna rewrite it, we would include, you know, we could talk about that too. I think that the key is, how do you prove it's uninhabited or inhabited, right? Like, how do you prove or not, or disprove someone's living in there to fall within the ordinance? Still though, we would have to, you have to change the zoning on there? I don't think so. I think this would be more an exception to the ordinance.
From what I remember, I don't think you'd have to.
Yeah, that's not zoning,
Yeah.
that would be ordinance. You're right though about the precedent, because how do we police whether people are actually living in a camper or not? But again, if you have limited usage of the utilities, in other words, X amount of water, X amount of kilowatts per month, that sort of thing.
So if I heard you,
Some of these travel trailers are about some of the houses.
That seems like a lot of work.
so if I heard you correct, say that you're allowed to stay in RV if you're building a home?
Currently, currently, our city inspector allows, if there's something being built on the property, he'll grant temporary access for an RV for 6 months until the property is finished, or maybe renovating,
Do we
something
have
like
that in
that.
writing somewhere? Or
That's
is
actually
this-
something we need to reconsider.
So
That's
is
what
this-
has been considered.
Is this
in the past.
kinda just something that was just kinda made up? I mean, so we don't, that's not like a, we don't have like an actual ordinance on that, right?
Not currently.
Okay.
That's why I was saying if we change the ordinance, that's something we need to consider. And the difference there is the end game is a structure, a permanent structure, versus this, the end game is not a
Right.
permanent structure.
Right, okay, and so that
And
is.
taxing units, all of
Right.
that, you have to realize the taxing is very different as well, property tax.
So on this is, they just want, city utilities to the camper to leave it there forever, it's not a temporary. Or do we
That was not the
know?
request was not temporary.
Okay, cause I didn't know, were they planning to one day put a house there or whatever? what happened?
There's no permits currently on file for anything further.
It was my understanding that they just want utilities available to it. But it would not be inhabited, and it's something, is it something they use for camping and that sort of thing? That they take out and go places in and,
They just want it available at the beach.
cause there's positives and negatives to it, so.
I think then the question, right, at that point, we have to make sure that, if we do grant it, right, so let's weigh it out both ways. So if we do grant, then there's still, we still need to be able to review. Basically, if we did a one-time change, right, one time, then anyone else that came in, we'd have to have the same discussion. If someone else brought a travel trailer in to set up, we have to have the same discussion every time. Okay. So. So that's the only thing I'm saying is like, we just need to we need to consider that we set precedents.
So if we were to just discuss it every time, then we wouldn't really have to change anything with the ordinance, or we would still
Correct.
have to do that?
Correct. Unless we choose to change the ordinance and allow travel trailers, but what I can tell you is,
I don't know if I'm doing that.
well, I think that's where it's a slippery slope, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I was just about to say, because
Yeah.
you think that,
It's a slippery slope.
it was more, it's good for one, and then it's good for all.
Any other thoughts? Discussion?
It's hard, cause I'm good with this, but
Well, that's just it, you have to,
the long
you have to
term,
extract, yeah, you
yes.
have to extract yourself from the specifics and look at the long term.
are we willing to, and I'm not saying yes or no, are we willing to, because making an exception for one is really bad practice. Because then that just opens us up for problems from others.
Well,
And I know these are good people.
Yeah,
and I know that
absolutely.
they
I'm not
will
just-
do, these are fine people. Are we willing to change the ordinance? And tack on things like uninhabited, limited usage, and then willing to police all that.
almost like that would be the better, or
Or are we willing to make an exception and take the blue map? I mean, I like these folks. I'd like them to have whatever they wanna have, but I wanna know what's gonna
with the
come,
impact.
what's gonna come of it. Yes.
I'm torn. I mean, I'm all for it, but at the same time, I don't want every corner to have a travel trailer that somebody's living in throughout the town. I mean, like you said earlier, travel trailers, if you're looking travel trailer, it's probably better than some places, but I'm just saying, it's just one of those situations.
Also go back to property tax implications.
Yep.
I'm right there with you, I'm torn too.
There's
I mean, it is.
There will not be, there's no, the property tax on place with a travel trailer is vastly different than one with a permanent structure.
Whether it's lived in or not, just making sure that.
Any other thoughts?
Like for the long run of it.
You can always set a date on, an age on the camper that are brought in. If you open up this Pandora's box, you can set a date and say, you know, they have to be like 5 years old or younger. They can't, you know, that way someone's not pulling in a.
1976 camper that's
Yeah.
falling
We do
around.
have that with mobile homes.
Yes.
Yes, I know. Actually, which is kind of.
Yeah, but 1976 age camper.
Wow.
True.
Vintage.
You're cool too.
We're at a stall, so our next option, or our next step, we've got a couple options. We can make a motion, or we can take one. And again, the key here, the hard part is removing the personal aspect of it.
Yeah, too, it's city.
I mean, it's not that, I mean, it's just, it looks great there, but, you know, like he said, I don't want every corner in Frost to have travel trailers.
Well, as it is, we have minimums on the size of mobile homes, and what potentially, like, again, this is just speculation, what potentially could happen is instead of mobile homes, then we have travel trailers brought in that are below the minimum size.
What's the information from other towns? I mean, well, they allowing this or not, do we know? Do you have any background, Julie, from where?
Not on this.
I was just kinda curious as what other
I mean,
cities
I
are
can
doing.
get it, but, I can get.
And I'm sure it's
information,
to each their own, but
but- Right.
I mean, there may be some cities that have done this and then.
there might be a
backlash
proper
or-
way of wording it or doing it, or may not
I
be,
think
it's
that's
just
what,
allowed.
Italy and-
Blooming
We could table it and check with neighboring cities. That's one
I
option.
would just be curious as to what other cities are doing, because if they're not doing it, then we shouldn't break precedents. But then if they're
Or-
doing it, how are they wording it, how are they handling it? Maybe we follow suit, and we jump on the bandwagon.
Placing it.
Yes, or if they did, have they done it
Yeah,
before, did it
Yeah.
fail, you know,
Yes.
what happened?
It's also code enforcement, right, and the only city with code enforcement is Italy, so.
I'll make a motion to table it until, we get a little bit more club.
Is this something we can table and, I guess, make the decision for sure on the next meeting? Because I'm sure whatever reasons it's needed, they need an answer.
So what information would you need to make a decision?
I would just like to know myself, is if other cities are doing this, I mean, you know, are they opening up lots for travel trailers, camper, what do you call
Have
them?
they done it before? Is this
I mean-
something, do they have, what's their ordinance?
How's their
on it?
ordinance stated?
You know, just kind of compare, you know, even Blooming Grove, Berry, you know, or Italy, something
You say
like that.
Barry, really?
Well, you know,
Berry's like where it is.
I usually call, like, when I'm doing comparisons, I call Blooming Grove, Italy, I'll call Hubbard,
Or
I call
Dawson.
Kearns, Dawson.
You know,
Those
and
are
do they
usually the
have
5
different
ones I call.
ordinance? They may have something worded in there to where,
That's what I'm saying, if it's
It
worded
is.
and we're on board with it, I'm all for it, I mean, it's,
you know, and just something that we kinda can compare to look at.
Okay. So say that.
I make a motion to table number 8, until we can get more clarity on different ordinance around.
Till the next meeting, okay. Stormy, motions, Megan seconds, further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion to table item number 8 until next meeting, which would be the December. So we can do that. Okay, item number 9. If you go to kind of this last resolution handout, so this is what Dottie alluded to in her citizen comments. This is a resolution, not an ordinance, a resolution for street naming criteria. Essentially, as you read through here, it's a patriotic model for any new street names, if you will. How often do we name streets?
Yeah, like, what,
I think 4 years ago, when they put my street in, was the last one.
yeah, it's, wouldn't happen very much.
I mean, do we have like some new streets being built, because we can't even maintain the ones we have. So we don't need no new ones, so.
So we're looking at limiting them, if we were to pass this, to lands, animals, states, cities, towns, US landmarks, US-based languages, current and historical American figures. It's pretty limiting.
Well, there's some examples here as far as names, like names after streets, names after cities, national parks,
Yeah, like
You know,
Memorial, Oak
yeah.
Street, Eagle Road, Bisonville.
historical American figures, so. That's what this.
There's enough
resolution
history
is.
in Frost to come up with names, I promise you, just Frost itself. No more streets than we're gonna come up with,
Yeah.
or even
But
create or
it's
make.
not saying notable figures.
But it said history, history of Frost.
These are suggestions.
Yes.
Yeah, these are suggestions, yeah.
We've already got like Shepherd Street because
And,
of
yeah.
Mr. Shepherd and Williams, and there's people here that's streets already named after. I'm sure there's more than I can think of.
Okay, who's north front and south front, and why are they east?
The Grigor,
Why isn't it east north front and east south front? So anytime I try to get something delivered, they told me that I'm backwards and there's no such place.
what it is backwards if you think about
It
it.
is, and they're like, do you mean
The front street's on the
northeast?
back
And
side
I'm
of your
like,
house?
no, it says east north. Like my utility bills come here, why can't my FedEx?
FedEx is a different story. They're
I'm just picking
Yeah.
apart the verbiage.
I'm with you.
You know me. But
This would
once
also
it
be-
says American figures, people
Yes.
from Frost are American figures.
Technically, yeah.
Okay.
So I guess you just want to prevent naming a road gravel road, maybe, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, I don't know. So she's wanting to use significance behind the naming of a street.
Essentially.
So I'm good with it. I'll make a motion, unless y'all through discussion.
Second,
I'll make a motion to consider approving the resolution.
We've gotta get the number.
I'm looking for it.
No, we don't have it yet.
Oh,
We
we don't
gotta pull
have
it.
it.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it.
I'll give it to Jay.
That's okay, we'll put it in.
And she seconded it.
And, okay, we'll let her come back so she can finish it. We can get it, June. But she's got. I think we'll get it here.
See, you might want to get Parkway because there's so many
Right, Jack, through the Green Canyon,
Pothole way.
Grand Canyon, Palo Duro
Yes.
Canyon, yeah. 197, okay.
You may restate it?
Yes, please, 197.
I will make a motion to consider or to approve the resolution 197. for the street naming criteria.
Bonnie made a motion, Kenny second. Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion to approve resolution 197 passes.
Is it not?
Let's see, okay, item number 10, discuss and consider approving ordinance number 334 to update park pavilion reservation policies and fees. We talked about this last month and we tabled it.
Yes.
Called around to the neighbors, if you will, the neighboring cities that are like in size. There was not a single city that charged for reservation or charged a deposit.
Does that mean we can't?
No, it doesn't mean we can't, I'm just giving you the
Nobody
background.
else
That
does.
was why we tabled it, was to find out a little more about that. So a couple of things with that, right, my opinion is that, should someone reserve the park and they use electricity, we should have a fee for that. It does cost us money. Okay. The second piece is the challenge. I know we talked a little bit about deposit. The challenge with that is having someone that come in and pay for it and making sure that they receive that and they receive that back should we inspect the park and everything's fine, right? So that it's just a little bit of a challenge. Just
I
trying to
just
make that
say we
happen.
just do a fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
No
then
deposit, flat fee.
if they leave
Just
it
a flat
trash,
fee.
just don't let them rent it again, they can just keep
Well,
a record of
we
it.
could write it in the contract that they would be fined if they left it. You know what I'm saying?
I think the key, if we can show that it was them.
Right.
Again, it
But
comes back to,
I
who's,
kinda say, I mean, nobody else charges for theirs.
no one else is charging.
So maybe we should just do a flat rate just to cover just a little bit of the electric use or whatever. You know, because I
Should
don't wanna
they use-
steer people away from using our park because they have to pay. And hey, I can just run over to Blooming Grove and, use theirs. You know, I don't wanna run people off, and,
Keep it, keep it affordable. but at least
$25,
cover-
because in all reality, people that set up there is people out there, trying to make money, whatever, well, so at least we're getting something off of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, parties or whatnot, right?
Or parties,
Yeah.
and they're doing it there because why? Because it's cheap, free, whatever.
It's easy, it's down the street.
You know,
And they
yes.
don't wanna trash their house.
Yeah, and they
Well, there's
don't want,
plenty of
well,
them.
and they don't want people coming to their house. I mean, y'all, that's why I did it, cause I didn't wanna look at everybody in my house. And when it's over, they don't stay there long.
Yeah, and it always says 4-hour block. We had also talked about a 2-hour block.
We can make adjustments, and I think the challenge with 2 hours is the setup and the cleanup. To be
Yeah.
fair,
You're right.
it's rare that,
You're
it's
right.
rare that it is
That was
reserved,
slow, too.
yeah. So
I would
I think
just
part
say
of that
just-
setup and cleanup, that's why it's the 4 hours.
I would just say just a fee, if two people wanna book it at the same day, we just say, hey, look, somebody else is already on that day. Do you wanna pick another day, or we can do
Split 8 to
morning or
noon,
eight,
1 to,
morning,
1
yes.
yeah, whatever.
The
You know,
cities
I
that I
mean-
called all said that they did it, they told them all that it was first come, first served, and then, but if
Yes.
somebody else showed up and wanted to be there, that they couldn't run them off.
Yeah.
So,
Right,
it was,
yes, and I mean, I think that's, because, I don't think that many people book on the same day, they're not running down there fighting over, no, I had the pavilion first,
Right. And one of the reasons we wanna implement the form is, should someone get hurt, it's a release of liability.
Yes. No,
So
I
if
agree.
they do reserve it, it's a release of liability. It is, an agreement to clean the park when it's done, to put everything back where it belongs, those types of things.
And I think that that's okay,
Agreed.
but, charging an astronomical amount of money is, I just don't see that either, maybe, like I
We
said.
just need to cover our costs and we're not out the money.
Just like $25 when
20.
we use electricity.
I mean,
and just do a flat
electricity,
fee.
trash,
Yeah,
can use,
$25,
we gotta
trash
dispose
can,
of it.
yes.
So $25, I'm fine with it. And it assures them a allotment of time that they don't have to worry about nobody else coming in there and pushing them out.
So, just make sure I understand, $25 regardless of
Yes.
electricity.
Yes.
Every time, so $25.
Because, I mean,
They're gonna use the
I
trash
just make
can.
sure I
We're not gonna
understand.
go down there and police them and say,
Well,
they're gonna come
they-
down and
they
pay
could say
25 and
they're
say,
not
we're not
gonna
using
use
it,
it.
and then
We're
you go
gonna
by
put-
and you see a bounce house.
And the only thing
Yeah,
you can
just
do
do
if you
25
did that,
regardless.
if you don't want them to use electricity, you don't have to put a lockbox on it.
And then then we're out that money and somebody having to police it and open it, and I just think a $25
I
flat.
got one too. I ain't gonna reach up and grab it though. I found mine on the side of the road.
What?
Don't worry about it. A tramp
A
hole,
hot stick,
tramp hole.
yeah.
See? No, it's one of those transformers. Whatever she got, a hot
Hot
stick.
stick.
She knows more about it than I
Where
do.
it's like a
Yes, I
telescoping
know.
pole that you
Yes.
open it up and then you open the door, and when you open the door, it cuts electricity off.
Need
So-
a motion?
I'll make a motion
Yeah?
to approve ordinance number 334,
For?
update Park Pavilion reservation policy and fees
How much?
to $25.
I second.
I can't even
Megan
second
makes
that.
it. Megan motions, Stormy seconds. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Nay,
All opposed? Okay.
Megan, it's your time to
Ordinance
shine.
number 334, item number 10 passes.
Wait for she.
Give you the eye.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Okay. Everyone's in
It's a
race
tie for
tonight.
second. Kimmy did, I think.
Couldn't hear.
Cause I got there in time.
Right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting is adjourned at 6:58 PM. We will see you in December.
Megan, will you
You
have
better
to,
give that to her.
will you have to pay for the park festival?
Listen, we haven't given another.
Now, what'd you say was gonna be happening at the park festival?
Kinda like before, just vendors and some food trucks.
And
or
then you
food
just go
vendors.
with
Oh, so,
Right? I'm just thinking about when you're trying to swing your feet all the time.
Well,
And
That's the
so
problem.
depends on the weather.
we
If,
tested it.
if I can, we'll do it in the pavilion probably.
Where they decided to.
Yes.
Because it'll be decorated for Christmas.
That's me is.
If it turns cold like
Come
last
back
year,
to
we'll
your
move it
town.
to the school.
She was ready to. I remember you telling me.
No, when we, do something
Yeah.
like a
Like
city event like that, or we
Like they thought
approve
she was
it,
going last week while she
then
was
it
in the
won't
middle of the
be
ocean.
part of that.
You know, we used to have, in the spring
What's that?
and in the fall before it
Yeah,
got
you
real
good.
cold.
We're
Yes,
done.
you're good.
Remember when
Good
we
to go,
used to
Chris.
have events